So when performing this, trying to kind of set up like an RDL, and notice that I put that leg out first and I straighten my hips out a little bit. Now I'm going to try to push my right hip down. So because of how tight my left glute is, I actually can only sink my right glute so much lower, and I'm going to just stay there because I'm trying to sink into that joint. It doesn't have really good mobility at the bottom end, so I'm trying to push my right glute down but keep that right foot nice and straight. Then I'm going to open up into it. And as I go down, I'm really going to try to sink down into that hip. Allow it to come down as low as it can, sink down. Notice that I'm using the opposite arm to reach into the rack, okay? Because this will allow that counterbalance. And I'm using my other hand just kind of as a proprioception cue, as a cue to remind myself, let yourself sink into that hip. I'm not going to allow my left knee to cave in towards the midline too much. It's all about the control in the glute itself. Now as I switch to the other side, very similar. I'm going to reach, see how straight I try to have that leg and I keep that left glute really tight. You see I'm turning down. Now I have slightly better internal rotation of my right hip. So from what you can see here, my left hip goes down just a little bit more into the socket, and that's actually what you want to be able to do. So I'm going to stay at the bottom just for about 5 to 10 seconds. Once I feel like it's loosened up, I'm going to turn it out, slow down in, push into the ground to externally rotate my hip. Keep that foot nice and flat, but keeping your toe a bit arched into the ground as you're pushing through this. Your foot can allow proprioception to actually help you stabilize as you're doing this movement.